like a roller coaster.
Yo vlog fam, so today's a different kind of video. I've actually been invited to go take a test drive in a Tesla, so that's quite exciting. A Tesla Model S to be specific. Show a picture of it up here. So yeah, I'm quite excited to go do that. So yeah, we'll see you when we get outside. So we're here now and we're just walking up to the Tesla building and it's just across from us. I don't know if you can actually see it. Let's see if I can zoom. Where is it? There it is, so you can just kind of see it. So yeah, we'll see you actually when we get inside the building. So yeah, see you then.
So it plugs in just like your mobile phone. You basically press this little button, it clicks and you can unplug it. So when you get a Tesla, you have one of these installed at home ideally, and then you just charge it overnight essentially. So
how long would it take to do a full charge?
Probably about 8 hours, something like that, on one of these chargers.
And does that last you the 200 and something?
Yeah. And then on the motorways, we have a network of superchargers that will get you back to 80% charge in about half an hour. So they're really, really fast. So you stop, grab a coffee, and on you go. You can also do a few other things here. I'll just show you. You can see how much energy you're using. This is our little sort of energy graph. You can browse the web, or not. You can make phone calls, of course, that sort of thing. And then you've got entertainment built in. So you've got digital radio, you can connect your phone, but you've also got tune-in radio where you can listen to podcasts and international radio stations and Spotify. So you can basically just stream music directly to your car. So let's just put something on just so you can listen to the stereo because it's pretty good.
You call me all friendly, make my decision.
You can change the levels and move it around.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I don't need your love.
Surround sound there is. So yeah, it's really easy basically to, and you can search with the voice as well. What sort of music do you guys like? What's your favourite band?
Drake. I like Drake.
Yeah. Listen to Drake. My surname's Drake.
Oh.
So you have to listen to me. So yeah, it'll search Spotify. So well, let's have a little bit of fun stuff. Goes up to 11, but I can't do it. It hurts my ears.
Don't know how you just chance to get it.
Yeah.
No, exactly. But yeah, it's dead easy to use, and obviously the stereo is really good as well.
Yeah.
You've got all your climate control down here. This is quite a cool new feature that we just added. So you can heat all of the seats. You want a heated seat in the back there?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? What about you?
Yeah, go on.
Go on. I'll have one too, why not? It's a bit cold in here. I'm going to heat my steering wheel. So you can do all your fans and whatnot, but we've got this new feature called dog mode. So basically you put that on when you get out of the car. It keeps the heater on, or the AC in the summer, and it puts a big sign up here that says the heater is on, my owner will be back shortly. So if you leave your dog in the car for a few minutes, which is cool.
That's quite good, especially with the aircon in summer.
Yeah. And then this is like how you control the car. So this is how you set it all up and everything. So I'll get you, Alex, if you don't mind, just to drag down on the image.
Drag down like this.
Yeah, that's it. That opens the sunroof for you.
Sunroof is opened.
Such a beautiful day for us for an open sunroof. You can do quick controls and stuff from there. They've also got air suspension, so you can set the ride height to be up or down. And and that gives you more ground clearance. You can probably feel it moving up slightly. So if you go down a track or a road with like lots of speed bumps, then you can do that. And also remember by GPS where you are, so the next time you go there, it will automatically set it up for you.
That's really cool.
You can do various things with how the car drives. It's a bit boring. And then there's the autopilot, which I'll show you when we're driving. What else? So this is also cool. I'm actually going to go to London. So this is how many miles this car has done. So I've done 3 test drives in it so far. And then this is where you've got some Easter eggs. So these are just little bits of code that we've built in.
I see the whoopee cushion one.
Yeah. Do you know what that one is?
No.
That's called emissions testing mode. So you can fart on demand, but you can just also do this.
Alex.
So yeah, endless fun. You can even do it with a turn signal. Yeah, that's good fun.
Yeah.
There's a drawing pad for those moments where you need to draw. And then this is my current favourite, is romance mode.
I suppose that would be nice when you're stuck in 3 metres of snow, maybe as well.
Yeah, so play some funky music as well. Play some slow jams as well. So yeah, so there's loads of stuff that you can do through the screen, as you can see. So let's drive it. Indicators, autopilot. I can move my steering wheel if I want to. Still got a sticker on the thing because it's so new. Take that off. But yeah, steady to drive. I just put my foot on the brake and I put that down, the gear stick into drive, and then we're off.
Ooh, so smooth as well.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just go up to Arla and then round the back road so we can have a little go on the autopilot as well. Everyone got their belts on, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So with electric cars you have something called regen braking. So when I take my foot off the accelerator I'm not braking now, but the car is slowing down. And that's the motors spinning down, and the energy that produces goes back into the batteries. That's what's called regenerative. Easy for me to say. But it means you don't use your brakes hardly at all. Just need to bring the car to a standstill.
That'll make it easier on the brakes then, won't it? It won't run them down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty quiet. Just the sound of the tyres more than anything.
So what's stopping them from not using the self-driving at the moment?
So the software isn't quite there yet. Also, there's a new computer to control it that needs to go into the cars, which will be retrofitted if you have the full self-driving capability. So basically, by the end of the year, we predict, or Elon predicts, that it'll be feature complete. He calls it, so it'll be ready to actually drive from point to point. But at that point, then it doesn't make it safe enough to roll out to everyone, because for a car to drive itself, it needs to be at least twice as safe as a human driver.
Yeah.
Probably more, to be honest, because for us to trust it, both as a driver and as you know, other road users, you know, it's going to be a big thing. But then the other factor is, of course, at the moment it would be illegal to drive or not drive a car on UK roads, you know. So we have to bear that in mind as well, that it's going to need regulatory assistance. But the one thing that is good is that the government did say that they would allow self-driving cars on the UK roads in 2021.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that far away, really.
Yeah.
So if I was to buy, say, a Tesla today, would that then computer still be free to be implemented in the car that I buy?
If you bought the full self-driving package.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So if you didn't, then you'd have to pay for it separately. But if you bought the self-driving package, which is £4,900, I think, around
Yeah,
there.
we have that line.
So if I was to buy one a normal car, would every single Tesla be able to be fitted with the self-driving in the future?
Yeah, so basically the cameras and the radar and sensors, which, you know, the input devices, they're all standard across all of our cars now. So they're all there, so you'd be able to add it later on if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
With the cameras, is there a dash cam?
Yeah, so you can, down here there's some USB slots, and you can put a USB stick in there, and that will do a dash cam, use the middle camera as a dash cam.
Alright.
And it also has another new feature called Sentry Mode, where again you need the USB stick, but it will, when you're away from the car, it uses the cameras to sense if anyone's trying to break into it or anything. There's a big red, like, throbbing eye on the screen here, which is a bit like the HAL 9000 from what's it called, Space Odyssey. and yeah, so it sets off an alarm and also pings your mobile phone to say that someone's come in, but it also records what's going on, so you can see who's been trying to break into your car. Or even if, like, I thought that would be quite good if you were parked in a busy car park and you got back to your car and someone had damaged it in some way, you know, reversed into it or something. That would set off the Sentry Mode, so you'd be able to see the number plate of the car that did.
That's another question, actually. So what happens if someone, say for example, did smash into your car? You probably wouldn't be able to get this fixed at any normal car place, would you?
No, not any old one. No, we have body shop partners that are sort of verified to fix Teslas.
Oh, okay. Is that easy then to find those places?
Yeah. Well, you can just go through our service team and they'll get you, put you in touch with them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're charging the car, is the energy coming from the national grid, or could it even, like, in the future be like solar panelled or renewable?
Yeah, so a lot of our customers have solar panels. You'd have to have quite a big array to just rely on that, but you can certainly supplement your charge with solar panels, make it cheaper. But because the battery in these cars could power a three-bedroom house for about a week. They're big, so generally you do need to get your energy from the grid.
Yeah.
I've got an electric car. I've got a Renault Zoe, and I've got a tariff with a company called Pure Planet, which is 11 pence per kilowatt hour, but it's fully renewable energy, so they only buy renewable energy, like from wind farms and whatever else. So I know that the electricity I'm putting into my car is not damaging the environment anyway.
Yeah.
Which is always nice to know.
It's nice how it just feels nice and smooth when you're going around.
Yeah, it feels quite level, doesn't it? Because you've got that big battery on the floor, so you've got a nice low centre of gravity.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put my foot down a little bit for you. You ready?
Yep. Jeez.
And then I'm gonna do the autopilot. So now the car is controlling the speed and the steering. So I have to keep my hands on the wheel, but it's doing the steering for me. At the moment it doesn't do a roundabout, so I have to take control to do that.
So does that bleeping tell you when it's on and when it's off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So technically, even though it's illegal, but you could take your hands off the steering wheel and it would steer?
It would, yeah, but after about 20 seconds it would shout at me.
Oh, okay.
So then I'd have to put my hands back on. And it keeps the distance between you and the car in front. I can't see the lines here. So that means it can't see the white line, so it doesn't let me put it on. It's fair enough. Yeah, so if you can't feel any weight through the steering wheel, it flashes first and then it beeps, and then eventually, if you haven't put any input into it, it will switch off and it will bring the car to a standstill and put the hazard lights on. So it's pretty safe. So one of the things that when we built the cars, obviously we wanted it to be electric, we wanted it to be fun, but the other thing we really wanted them to be is safe.
Yeah.
So they've got 5-star safety ratings whenever they've been tested, and part of that is the technology. So those radars and cameras and things, like if a car suddenly puts brakes on in front of me the emergency braking would kick in essentially and stop the car for me if it was going to react faster than I was.
So what happens if somebody was tailing you in the back, like being too close to you? Would the car speed up?
No, not at this point. It doesn't do that. No. I'll do a bit of some at the front there. Just wait for the police to get out of the way. I'll put my foot down again if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Feels like a roller coaster. It's crazy.
This is the slowest car we make.
Jeez.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's a police helicopter there. Wasn't really braking at all.
So with the autopilot mode, if you're going, say on a road that has lots of bends in it, will it automatically know to slow down, or would it just be one of those occasions where you can't use autopilot?
Do you know what? It's really clever. So I mean, technically in the UK especially, it's only meant for multi-lane roads with central reservations. That's what it's tested for. But if you look on YouTube, there's lots of videos of it doing American highways, which is single track, but they've got good lines, you know, they've got good yellow lines on either side. And what it will do for that sort of situation, it will learn the road. So if you do it the first time, it might not manage it, it might switch the autopilot off, but it uses like a neural net, so it'll feed that information back to the servers, and it will also feed it down to other Teslas. So even if a different Tesla came along to that road later on, it would know that the autopilot disengaged at that point, so it might need to do something different. And eventually it will learn that road, and it will know to slow down for the corners, basically. So that's the clever bit of our system, is that it's self-learning. It's a bit like AI.
Yeah, so they all communicate with each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's only going to get better and better with more cars on the road and more people using autopilot. You know. So I'm going to try and do a self-park.
Okay.
I say try because it doesn't always work. And I've never tried it in this car. So that's a pretty tight spot there, right? So let's see if Mr. Tesla here will park in it. Yeah, he will, look. So you get this P on the dash here, and then you do reverse, and then if you could just press start for me, Alex. That's it. And then I'm not touching it. I can take my hands off here, this is legal. I think that police helicopter wants me. Just ask me some questions. So that is quite a tight spot. I would not struggle, but you know, I'd be a bit like, that's a bit.
I'd never have done it this smoothly on single turns.
It's clever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really
I'm not going to
cool.
make you get out of here because it is too tight.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it back on the charger. But yeah, so that's part of the autopilot software. And the other one we've got is something called Summon. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, I'll show you that. So, here I am, coming up to my parking spot, but it's really tight. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of my parking spot. I know I can, but I'm just going to show you this. So if we all jump out, so you can see this is the car, and it tells me where it is and everything. So if I do this, summon, turns the wheels as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's so cool.